I've had the opportunity to be there doing Sports Jeopardy, which is on the same set on the Sony lot as Jeopardy. Same people, floor director, cameras, producers, executive producers. So everybody involved in Jeopardy was involved in Sports Jeopardy. And I've had the great fortune of doing over 100 shows of Sports Jeopardy. And there was a couple of years ago where I was asked, now this is before I even did Sports Jeopardy. I had somebody with Sony who reached out to me and said, hey, would you be interested in hosting Jeopardy? And actually called me. Now, this wasn't an offer. Now, this is just kind of gauging interest of if Alex Trebek decided that he wasn't going to continue to host Jeopardy. And so I get this call, and he was actually in Europe calling me. That day on the show, I think Paulie or one of the Danettes asked me, is there a game show that you would want to host? Because I've been offered other game shows. Price is Right, Let's Make a Deal, a couple other ones in there. I don't know how I got on this mailing list of game shows, but I did. And then all of a sudden, I was getting these offers like, would you want to do Price is Right? And you know what? It wasn't the time for me to do it. And I'm glad Drew Carey's doing it and doing a great job. So I get this call, and I had said that I would want to do Jeopardy. And so I get this call, and I think it's a guy who listens to the show, but he's in Europe, and he said, hey, would you be interested in hosting Jeopardy at some point? And I said, yeah, I'd love to talk to you. I said, but were you listening to the show? And he goes, no, I'm in France. And I go, I brought this up today on the show. And then, so we did get together and had a discussion because they weren't sure if Alex was going to continue, but they're trying to line up people that, you know, they would consider for the job. So as it turned out, Alex signed a new contract. Got a chance to meet with him when they decided to do Sports Jeopardy. He was very gracious and gave me, you know, hints on how to do the show Sports Jeopardy. And so now I see that Alex may retire. And if he does, great. If he comes back, great. That I'm not interested in doing Jeopardy. There's just too many things going on. I don't want to be commuting to Los Angeles. I would be honored if they considered me, but I'm guessing that they have their short list already. And I think that just being mentioned as the possibility of taking over for somebody like that with a legendary show and a legendary host is, it's a great honor. But Jeopardy is not in my future. And that's for a variety of reasons, probably their reasons first and foremost, and mine as well. I don't want to uproot my life. I still love doing this job. And although I could probably squeeze them all in, I don't think I would be great at any of them if that was the case. So this is first priority is this show. And I think we're going to bring back Sports Jeopardy at some point, which would be great. But I got the broadcasting school that I started in Orlando. So there's other things that I'm involved in that keep me busy, and it'd be a great opportunity, but that's not something I'm interested in. Yeah, Paul.
As a broadcaster, do you guys think similar to like quarterbacks where you don't want to follow up the guy, like you don't replace Alex Trebek because?
I wouldn't be in fear of that.
Not fear, because you're confident in your skills and you've done Sports Jeopardy, but it's also like, I don't want to be the guy after him.
You don't want to be the guy who follows the guy.
Generally.
I want to be the guy who follows the guy who follows the guy.
But then Aaron Rodgers did okay. Apples and oranges.
Yeah, I think there's situations there, but he's been there in living rooms for over 30 years. And would that add to the challenge? Yes. Would that make me nervous? It probably would. Yeah, McLovin.
How hard is that job?
It's a whole lot harder than you think because Alex you have to have great timing. You have to be able to, and it moves so fast, so you got to find all of those clues on this big sheet of paper and then be able to read it correctly, listen to the answer. I marveled at just how good, it took me doing Sports Jeopardy to realize how great Alex is at that. And whoever does that, it'll be just hard enough. It's hard enough to just do the job, let alone you're going to follow Alex Trebek. So I hope he continues. I hope his health continues, that he's able to do it as long as he wants, because he is the face of Jeopardy.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.